Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm here with another EFC 24/7 news report for you. And as the deadline approaches, the transfer window comes to a close, it looks like there's a little bit of activity from Everton, and most notably today in terms of outgoings, and that one specific outgoing in particular, and that's that of Moise Kean. Fabrizio Romano, a man who's become very prominent in the transfer window in terms of journalist this summer, has broken the story among other sources as well. He's reporting that PSG have reached an agreement to sign Moise Kean on loan from Everton. The Italian striker has already agreed to join PSG. He'll undergo his medicals and sign tomorrow on loan from Everton. An agreement has been reached and his salary will be paid by PSG. I don't know if that's in full, but fair play if it is. The Athletic followed on with that story later, saying the PSG are in advanced talks with Everton to sign Moise Kean on a season-long loan, subject to a successful medical. And a couple of other sources broke it as well. Alan Myers came out with the story as well, so it's legitimate. It seems to be going ahead. Moise Kean to PSG on a season-long loan. But later on, Romano broke the news that there's no option to buy for Moise Kean, which is, I think, is English. Being a bit dodgy there. There's no option to buy Moise Kean for Paris Saint-Germain from Everton. The player's already in Paris to have medicals and sign his contract, but yeah, no option to buy apparently. Of course, Carlo Ancelotti spoke about a potential move the other day, and he pretty much he seems to rule that out and say Everton made a big investment in Moise Kean, and they don't want to give up on that. And it seemed they're not giving up on that. I suppose sending him out on loan with no option to buy could develop the player, because he would be an understudy to Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison this season. So if he were to go out and get regular football, which is quite difficult at PSG, but who knows, maybe they're looking for a striker. I think Eric Choupo-Moting looks to be on the way out, but obviously he's a bench striker, and Cavani's leaving as well. So what role Moise Kean might play, I don't know, but that's an interesting one. But yeah, there's the Moise Kean news. Now that's prompted a bit of news in terms of who would come in to replace Moise Kean in terms of Everton's substitute striker, and the Liverpool Echo are touting Fernando Llorente of Napoli. Carlo Ancelotti is expected, they report, to ask for a replacement striker if Moise Kean leaves, and Ancelotti has previously discussed the possibility of signing Napoli forward Fernando Llorente. Obviously very experienced. He's been in the Premier League before as well with Tottenham Hotspur. He was a substitute striker for Harry Kean. He's played all over. He's played for Napoli. He's played for Atletico Madrid, and he's been successful. He's getting on now. He's in his 30s, but he's still a good player, and would be a good backup to Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison if he were to accept that role as a backup. And I personally think he would. But another name rumoured to be a potential incoming if Moise Kean were to leave is Arkadiusz Milik from Napoli as well. Ryan Taylor of the Express reports that Everton have held initial talks with intermediaries for a potential deal for Napoli striker Milik. Ancelotti is apparently open to a reunion. Moise Kean's future is likely to have an impact on any final decision for Milik. Now, he's a very good player, Polish international, and I thought if he were to come in this summer, he would want a starting role, because he is a player who's, I think he's fell slightly down the pecking order with a couple of signings to come in from to Napoli this summer, but I don't think he's a substitute striker. I think he could go elsewhere, and he'd probably want a starting role. So it'd be interesting to see if that one goes through, or Llorente. But yeah, there's a couple of names linked with Everton in terms of getting someone in as a bench striker to swap with Moise Kean, because he doesn't seem happy with that role this season. And Ancelotti, of course, can't guarantee him game time with the form of Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin at the moment. Now, last night at Goodison Park, it seems that Ben Godfrey was spotted. It seemed that someone got a selfie with Ben Godfrey last night at Goodison Park, and yeah, he seems to be on his way to Everton. Now, that deal has not been announced just yet. It's pending, and by the time you're watching this video, it might have been announced. To be honest, it's due any minute soon. So that one's in the offing, very much so. But one deal that has gone across the line today is one I reported to you last week, and that's of Midfielder Imam Yangne from Swedish club BK Häcken, he signed for Everton's under-23s. He signed a 3-year deal until the end of June 2023. So that's a good signing for the future. Promising midfielder. I think he's about 16 years old. So that's definitely one for the future, but I think he will definitely stay with the 23s to continue his development. He won't be near the first team anytime soon, but hopefully in the future. Now, apart from that, John Travolta has given Spirit of the Blues his approval. Bill Kenwright sent John Travolta a meme that someone had made. Obviously, people have been putting Spirit of the Blues behind a lot of dance videos, and the latest one was the Pulp Fiction dance. And John Travolta replied with the message, "Wow Blues, I love the video. I'm proud to be part of your amazing run. Congrats to the best team ever. Go Everton. Love JT." So great to hear John Travolta back in the Blues. Is right. It's obviously very popular at the moment. Apart from that, John Clare Todibo is a man who is linked with Everton very strongly for the last year or so, really, and he seems set for a move to Fulham. So just to touch on that, and another former Everton player, Davy Clarkson, seems to be heading back to Ajax, so that's another side story for you. But apart from that, in terms of Everton news, the last bit of news to bring to you is, according to Team Talk. Now, I don't think much is in this, but apparently Theo Walcott is attracting interest from the likes of West Ham and Crystal Palace. The report says that both clubs have made contact over a potential deal, while intermediaries have also spoken to Newcastle and Fulham, as well as former club Southampton. They've been asked if they will consider an emotional return to the South Coast, but personally, I don't think there's anything in that. I think Theo Walcott will play a role for Everton this season. Obviously, he came off the bench for James Rodriguez in the last game, and he's been playing a role in the Carabao Cup matches as well, and I do think he's got a role to play at Everton this season, even if it is a bit part role. But obviously, if he's not content with that, he could be on his way out to one of those clubs, but at this moment, that is just paper talk, and I don't think there'd be much in that. Obviously, only a couple of days left in the transfer window. I don't think anything will happen with that, but want to keep an eye on anyway. But that's all of the news coming out of Everton today. So yeah, let us know what you think. Obviously, Ben Godfrey being spotted, as well as Moise Kean on his way out. Are you happy with Moise Kean leaving? Do you think he should stick around and play as our third striker? Let us know what you think in the comments. As always, I'd like to generate some discussion in the comments. It's always good. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching the video anyway, and join us next time on the Toffee Blues.